pretty humbling to know that people turn to us when the weather's bad. It's humbling, but it's also a big responsibility. The severe weather is something that's always been important to me, just because I know that there's a lot of people that depend on me, not just viewers, but my family, you know? It's where the rubber meets the road, basically. It's why local TV exists, because when weather's happening and it's immediate, there's no better place to go than local for weather coverage.
Powerful tornado ripped through Benton County, of course,
I believe it was 2006. We had a tornado that moved through Bentonville, and it was a long time ago, but and Bentonville certainly wasn't as populated as it is now. And it moved through Centerton, and to be able to talk with people that had taken shelter like right away, and to see their kids.
But you know, Garrett, I'm going to give you some credit here. You really warned people ahead of time.
The thing that stands out to me is the Snapple bottle that went through the kind of the fiberglass bathtub. It's amazing to me that people survive things like that. The amount of energy that's in those tornadoes are just incredible. That's really where I feel like I've made the most difference in people's lives, is as storms move in, they're able to get a good feel and a good idea of what's going to affect them and how it's going to impact them. And to be able to communicate that lets me know that I'm helping people, and that's probably the most rewarding part of my job.
His legacy is being able to tell people what they need to know in a way that makes them understand it and appreciate it.
He is responsible for people's lives, right? When it comes right down to it, especially in a severe weather situation, what he says, what he does, could be the difference.
When there was a possibility of a severe storm coming through, there was no hyping that up to make this a huge, big, scary event. He would tell you exactly what that was going to be. And if it was bad, he would tell you it was going to be bad. He wasn't talking to a whole audience. He was talking to me and you.
When you watch his severe weather coverage, the fact that he can tell me about this neighborhood is by this school, is by this church, I mean, that is impactful.
When he was tracking storms, when he was telling people to take cover when there was a storm coming in, that, I think, is the biggest reason why people watch. They developed a trust with Garrett, and like I say, whether it was a sunny day, people wanted to know from Garrett if it was going to be a sunny day because of how accurate he was with that, and because of his knowledge of this area.
That resonates with me when I hear him say a specific street name, or this specific church, or around the corner is this specific school building. And when people hear that, they know, wow, that's me. That's me right there. And he knows where I am, and he's concerned about me. We get that feedback from viewers then afterward who say, I took shelter because you said that the next people that need to be concerned are the people on my street, or by my school, or by my church.
The ability to communicate in a one-on-one situation with several 100,000 people all at the same time. And you do that for 20 years, you're going to build a pretty good trust.
Standing in the hardest hit part of Mena, I want to show you what
we had the Mena tornado, and that was another really hard one to cover. It was a ways away, so we had to send a lot of people that were down there. And a lot of times they put us next to houses where people have passed away, and I remember that one, and that was kind of hard. 2011 was probably one of the hardest years because we had so much weather going on.
Look at this thing. This is it. It's a 412 band. We'll call it the 412 snowstorm. You ready for this? You can see 2 feet of snow out of this.
In the middle of summertime, we were over 120 degrees. We had an EF4 tornado go through our morning meteorologist town. I looked over at Joe, and he had his hands in his head, because I knew that he thought his family was getting in the path of it, and it looked like it was right there. Well, when you're talking to people that have lost their loved ones to their homes, they don't move on the next day. I mean, this is something that's going to stick with them their whole lives, you know. So, yeah, I think about those people a lot. They're what I think about, you know, late at night. You realize that they're trusting you with their lives, and it's a big responsibility. And it's something that you don't really see when you're behind the camera, but when you meet people face to face, you definitely feel it. It's the sense of trust is, I'm going to step out here, and I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I'm trusting you're going to provide the right outcome for me. And that's a big responsibility for all of us to have.
We believed to be a tornado. Take shelter immediately.
We knew this was a violent tornado. The wind speeds on it were just off the charts. A mother came out to me holding her kid and told me that I saved her life, and she was watching us, and it was just really humbling. When someone tells you that, it really brings it home that what you're doing is worthwhile. There's a lot of people that are in the hall or in the bathroom or the closet when the tornado's hitting, and it's tough to talk to people that have lost loved ones. People that don't have insurance, that have lost their homes. It's hard. Everybody reacts differently to loss like that. But hearing their stories and having the kids come up to you and hug you, and it makes you realize just how much of an impact you're having on their life.